experience of interviewing people.
I want to say like what people shared, but I kind of figured they would. I guess like how many, the total, that there's like 30 of these, like the depth of it, and that it's kind of like I could do another 30. Like easily. It's such a, I didn't understand how deep this kind of well is that I'm in. I feel like people were more affected by them than I'd anticipated. Like people would come into their interview being like nervous and like having had thought about it, and I guess I didn't expect it to like really have much of an impact or for people to give much thought to it, but it's felt like they have, which has been really great. What are you the most afraid of about yourself?
Nothing.
Ooh, that's a bigger question than I thought was coming. I think I'm afraid of perhaps making big decisions, like making the wrong big decisions. I think that's something that's always been a struggle for me. And it's like the processing. There's so many choices out there in the world, right? And you're like, which one should I choose? Like big life decisions. I'm always afraid I think I'm going to make the wrong one.
Yeah, deep dive. I don't know. Not reaching my human potential. Yeah, like I think I want a lot out of life. And so maybe running out of time, you know? Yeah, that's probably a big one.
The inner critic. I feel like I'm generally an optimist in all ways, and I'm pretty resilient, actually very resilient in life, and even in the chaos embrace it. But sometimes, a lot of times, like that inner self-critic comes alive, and you know, I feed that beast sometimes, and it's it becomes a dialogue in my head that can sometimes paralyze me from like moving forward.
Okay, so say that in one sentence. I'm Terry Kay.
I'm Terry Kay, Bo's mom, and I'm 79 and holding.
Okay, ready?
Look at those things. Those are
here's
crazy.
the first question. Pay attention.
Oh, okay.
What are you the most afraid of about yourself?
My fears of driving, being alone. That's about it.
Say a little bit more about it.
There's no more to say. I mean, that's about it. Cut.
Well, okay, so I would
I
ask.
hate this posing.
I would ask what scares you about being alone.
I'm not good alone. I don't like silence. I don't like the boredom of it. I just don't like being alone.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll let you off the hook.
Time is my biggest thing, which is probably most people's biggest fear. For me, it is time, like where I want to spend my time in the right direction. I end up spending a lot of time on stuff that is probably not very important in the big picture. The good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets into like your own like mortality and like what you
Yes.
wanted to do with what you did with your time. My biggest fear about myself is that I'm going to be left behind. That I'm going to be unprepared and left behind, and not be able to figure out. That's not going to work. That I'm going to not be able to keep up. I've had this recurring dream my whole life that there's like a test and I'm unprepared, and and I like have like no idea what's going on or what even the subject sort of is. I feel that like ticking fear like in my daily life of kind of like time passing me by and I'm left behind. What do you wish you could go back and say to your 15-year-old self?
Initially what popped into my head was be nicer to yourself. But I think really like a 15-year-old self should be told like you really can do anything, and like don't hesitate to take on those goals. Like go for it. You know, don't dream and aspire for like these kind of outlandish, wonderful things that you might dream about. Like just you should go for it because everything's attainable. You know, if somebody else can do it, why not you?
I would say go get to know yourself. You know, like instead of just living in the moment, which we all want to do, and that's a great thing to just be present and have a ton of fun. I would say, you know, go learn yourself emotionally and your values and, you know, really what you want in life and follow your passion.
Don't let the little things bother you. Just go with the flow. Don't worry so much.
If I had at 15 more of a open playbook to like mix it up and not maybe necessarily go straight to college right after high school. Like maybe I took a gap year and I went and traveled, or I mentored under somebody and I like had a life experience, because it creates this level of freedom of like exploration, and in that like you find yourself faster, you know. And I really think life is about experiences, and it's about the connections you make, it's about the places you see, it's about just like meeting yourself in different situations.
Be kinder, especially at that age, to be kinder to everyone. I've grown up and feel like I'm a very sensitive person, and I have a lot of feelings for others, and there is those years where I definitely wish I would have been kinder at that time to everyone. Just stupid moments, but like looking back, and it's thinking about little stupid things that I did that probably really affected somebody else.
That she should go to the library and go ask the librarian about Buddhism and find a Buddhist like group, and that would already begin developing out all of the things that she dreams of.
That you're okay. That you're gonna be fine. There's nothing wrong with you. I was so scrambled at that age, and like nobody ever really said that to me, or I didn't know that I was okay. Like I would go back and tell myself that like the volume's gonna get turned down, and do what you want to do. Like find the things you want to do and like really do them, and really like participate in what you're doing, and show up and like try, and don't be worried of failing and looking stupid. Like develop whatever it is that you feel passionate about. What would your 25-year-old self think of you now?
You should have taken better care of yourself.
Like what? Like how so?
Health-wise.
You're pretty healthy.
Well, I don't feel very healthy. Of course, I'm 79 and holding, but I would just say take better care of yourself. Get more sleep, eat right, lose weight, the usual.
I've kind of played this game recently. I think even like in the past couple days, being out here with you guys. I think the last decade's been a pretty good one to me. Yeah, my time on Maui, and even just before it, I feel like I've really kind of checked off some boxes that feel pretty accomplished. but it's kind of back to like what you would like at 15, like dreaming of all these things. It wasn't until like several years after 25 I actually started like trying to do the things that 15-year-old me was dreaming about. And what was the question? What would they think of me?
Yeah, what would your 25-year-old self think of 39-year-old Aaron?
I think they might be proud. Considering where I was at 25 and where I am now, they might be happy that I made some moves.
She'd be so pleased and like stoked and happy for me. And like the 25-year-old me was very much ignoring my intuitive gut and my intuitive wisdom. You get these messages, you're getting a download, and I was sort of like ignoring them in a way. So it's a slow process, but like I've come a long way, and I feel like I'm like probably like the most content I've ever been because of the life I've been able to live in the last, decade or more, a couple decades.
I think I am not where I would have thought I would have been career-wise. At that age, I was pretty driven and right out of college, but I think I'd be proud of myself too. What that found and being comfortable and at peace. I think I'd be proud of myself for that.
When I was 25, I think I just had one particular vision for myself. I think at 25 I was graduating law school and I was gonna go straight into a career and just be like a much more like serious person, kind of have like a house, a husband, a family. And I think I've taken a little bit more of like just a different route, like life is a lot of like movement and just figuring it out. I've realized that it's a little bit more of, we're all just figuring it out constantly as we grow older, and there's never, oh, you know what you're doing. We're just always still figuring it out, and that's okay.
What would you say to your father on his deathbed?
I don't think I'd say anything. I think I would just put my hand on his arm and talk that way. I think my dad's about the energy exchange, and like if I were to say something, I'd probably just start reading the table of elements. Like it'd be like hydrogen, oxygen. I would just start like helium, like I would just start naming them, and he would understand what I mean by that.
Have that opportunity, and it was like I got a chance to like really think about it. I knew it was gonna be the last time I saw him, and I don't know if I can't really recite it. I don't think I can audibly get that out, but I was able to say everything I wanted to, and I was able to ask him how he felt about me, and it was like, I'm glad the time stopped for us to have that moment together and to share that. Probably the most like powerful, the most powerful moment of my life, absolutely.
Oh man, my dad and I were luckily very close, and we've had some amazing years, and I would just thank him for all the great moments that we had. And he's really just one of my best friends, and he's an incredible person. Man, that question hits home. Yeah, and I would thank him for, he always kind of instilled that he would be proud of us no matter what. Whatever we did in our life, sports-wise or career-wise, was never like, you need to do this, you need to do that. You just I'll love you no matter whatever you do. And that was like, looking back on it, I think that was pretty amazing to hear that at that young age. It was kind of like, what? You know, but he was just, you know, let us know that early on, and that was huge, and it's been instrumental in my life to not have that pressure that I know some parents do put on kids. Yeah, and just thank him for everything.
Awesome, thank you.
I mean, first, like, I love you so much, and I'm so, like, thankful that later on in our lives, in his life and mine, that we've had the ability to connect, because he wasn't in my life, like, at all as a child or growing up. I'd see him every once in a while, and he was sort of an illusion of a father, and I had these, like, fantasies about, you know, having a dad in my life, and it was always very confusing as a kid. And as adults, we've connected more than ever, and he's, you know, expressed remorse for not being there for me as a kid, and honestly, like, all of that has gone away, like anything that I felt back then, because of the connection that we have now. And it's just so sweet and lovely, and so, like, more than anything, it would just be about love, and then I'm just, like, so thankful that we've had the time that we've had.
I would say to my father on his deathbed, we should have tried harder.
I tell him I love him. That you did your best, you know, and it's appreciated. You know what I was thinking about as we were like, as we kind of dove deeper into these things, and I was whining about like whatever I might have, like whatever difficulties I had as a kid, you know. But then another thought, and the other side of that is like, what if that was the motivation, right, that turned you into the person you are today? And you know, without that, who are you? You know, someone just coddled, and you know, it's the bumps that are part of the journey. And so yeah, maybe just thank you. You know, I know my dad loves me deeply, and so yeah, I love you, and you did your best.
Nice, dude. Current life struggle challenge.
Everything. Nah, it goes back to time again, but yeah, realizing I'm 40, 41, 42, and where do I want to, you know, God willing or universe willing, whatever you believe, what I want to do the next 20 years. I mean, hopefully it'll be longer than that, but 20 good years of being able to be active and getting back and spending more time with my family and like good friends, and how to balance that with where I'm at in life right now.
Matt. Not in a bad way, but you know, that's where we put a lot of effort into figuring ourselves out, and our relationship and how we're going to move forward is a constant struggle. Not a bad one, but a constant conversation. Like, where we're going to end up. Are we going to end up Washington, Colorado, Maui? Those are like very big life decisions, and that's something we're always battling. I feel like it's a battle.
I have sort of everything, like all the stuff like I could ever wish for, and I struggle with happiness and joy and anxiety and all that crap. But what the struggle is now is that I've really identified what's kind of stands in my way from being more joyful or present or XYZ, and I restrict myself. It's like this, like I disallow myself from just letting go and like being and exhaling and giving love and expressing what I really want and passion and all of that stuff. So that's kind of become my life's work, is to like work through that stuff, and it's so much brighter up here, and I have glimpses of it. So yeah, I struggle with like staying in stress.
I want to build capacity in my nervous system. Like ever since I was younger, I had this line I've been repeating in my head, like the capacity to remain unruffled in situations of great provocation. Like that's for me, like that's the ultimate goal. Like I'm trying to practice a scenario in which I would have really kind of a hard time being able to be really present for the people who need me to be there for them. And I'm trying to like build that capacity in times of goodness so that I can be there for other people and myself when I really need to be.
I just moved off of Maui to Princeton, New Jersey, where I grew up, where I haven't lived in 23 years. And I've left, the community that I love so dearly, the nature and the place and the temple that I call Maui, that is my home. And it's a lot disorienting, and I'm staying very positive and forward thinking about it, but I'm also like, oh my God, here I am again, like starting over in many ways. So the challenge, that was the question, the challenge?
Struggle or challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like finding like my place again. There's part of when I'm around my mom and the home that I grew up in, there's part of me that like reverts back to being a child again. And it's the trippiest fucking thing because, I bought a house, everything. Like, I have a life. Like, I'm an adult, But for some reason, I get around my mom and it's just like these old patterns of like, I don't know, it's just like ingrained in our skin, in our cellular DNA. I don't know, like I revert to being a child, and it's like, it's a really weird thing because then all of a sudden you're like, wait, hold on a second, I'm in charge. You're not in charge. I'm in charge. Like, I'm the one that has to be the adult now for my children, It's weird, but also kind of like funny, I guess, in a way. You gotta make it all like not so serious,
Yeah, the things I'm kind of struggling with are pretty personal, and I don't know that I want to open up to whoever might watch this later. But I really appreciate you and Leanne for listening to my depths of struggle these past couple days, and just actually throughout our whole friendship. You guys are wonderful. Maui's a big one. Maui, but I don't even think it's a struggle anymore. I kind of know where I'm going with that. And future health. To be hopefully very healthy in the future. Got some big stuff happening right now in the next couple weeks.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
You're 18 and you have a grant to pursue whatever you want.
Gosh, I was just so happy with how it all turned out.
Which is a great answer. Like, you could say I'd do it the same.
I wouldn't change a thing about my life. I had a good life. So, if anything, if I had to say so, I would probably want to be a teacher. That's probably what I'd pick. And I came close, I was a para-educator, so that's close, but I would have gone a step above that.
You did teach. That's good to know that you did what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Oh, I would have gone to New York, or I would have gone to Europe, or I know I would have just gotten into drugs and alcohol, regardless. So I think it would have had to have been a specific school, like film school, some sort of art school. In my heart, it's I want to say I wish I would have gone and pursued acting, but I did enough acting to know I didn't have the talent. But I think making films, I think the idea is that I just went and gave like a few years to like really developing a craft and developing something, and to see where I would have come out.
Like my 18-year-old self, if I could have like mapped an easier life where I wouldn't have made like so many mistakes and maybe could have got to like a dream future more quickly. And I hate to say this because there's so much like stigma around it, but I think like to join the military, yeah, like a safer branch, like the Navy or the Coast Guard, and like where you can jump out of airplanes and you're doing all this cool stuff, you know, but in maybe a safer, you know, environment. Like you're not in the front line.
Oh, I think I would definitely be a painter, like fine arts. I definitely chased all the hard things because I thought, oh, if I can do this, I should do the hardest thing I can, which was, in hindsight, like I should have, like you said, like followed your passions and, you know, what excites you in life, and that's what I would definitely do is, yeah, art and painting.
One regret you would change?
Yeah, it would probably be, at this point, being gone from my family for so long. Guess I'm realizing there's a lot of burden on me in these questions about that. It's good. I mean, I just feel like I haven't been around for all the games for the kids, all those years, and they're like growing up and they're going to college, and I won't ever get those years back with them. They're gonna be adults. Yeah, being gone for too long, having fun in Maui and being, I guess it's selfish because it's a comfortable life out there, and it's been great for me, but it hasn't been fair to my siblings and nieces and nephews and parents and everybody all those years that are gone.
I never tried. I never went after anything and like stuck with it. And you know, I was always handing in a B-, and always have, and I never stepped into a challenge and like really took it on, and I do really regret not knowing what my sort of fulfilled potential was, and it's like I know now I can do that now, but it's you know, I can't to those years that like really got away. So maybe my regret is that I didn't choose something better for myself.
I got in a fair bit of trouble when I was young, man. Like before I graduated high school, I got a DUI, and then like throughout college, I got a couple drunken disorderlies arrested. Those all stung so bad, and I really grew a deep like loathing for myself. But it all kind of falls back into like maybe that develops you as a person and your character. But really, man, I wish maybe that first DUI. Oh man, I got my butt kicked over that. I would take that back from that poor kid. He didn't deserve that.
One regret that I would change. I don't know. If the regret is a regret, why would you change it?
Well, if a genie popped in and said you can go back and change one regret you have, you can go back in time and undo that.
I would have never started smoking.
Don't go to Oklahoma. Is what I would say.
What? How come?
Oh, that's where I ended up going to law school. And I don't have any necessarily regrets about doing it, but if I did it again, I would say instead of, you know, going to Oklahoma where it seemed like a good fit at the time, I would say go back and check out some other states and see where else you want to go to law school. Like do more research and go to a state with a better fit. You know, you're going to spend 3 years there, find somewhere you really love.
Everything's an experiment. There's no regrets, it's just learning. It's data points. It's revising, summarizing, synthesizing. There's no regrets.
No, this is a hard question because I don't feel like I have regrets in many ways. I just, because I think that we're like in charge of, you know, the choices we're making, or, you know, if this is our movie, like,
We wound up here.
we round up here,
Yeah.
we're playing these roles, we're choosing the people in our lives, like, we have the power, literally, in a very magical way to, like, create whatever we want. So, do I regret anything? Not really. Yes, could I have sped up some things, you know? Sure, like, could I have chosen, you know, a better person to marry? Maybe, but like maybe we were brought together to bring my children into the world, you know? Like maybe their little souls were like, well, you two need to come together, and like it's not gonna work out, but at least we're getting into the world, you know, to this dimension. That sounds so funny. So I don't know. I don't really regret much.
An insecurity you're willing to share.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like on this earth, like I have everything you're supposed to have. Like I have PhD and I have like all the stuff. It's beautifully complex, and I am doing my best. But I'm gonna like mess up here and there, like we all will. And I guess I just really want to be of good service for people, and I don't, sometimes I just don't know how to best do that.
Lately, I've been really feeling like I just don't have anything to say. I'll be sitting there and like grown-ups are talking, and I'll think of like contributing or leaning in, and I'm just like, I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say to this. I'm kind of like find myself like mystified by watching like adults like just carry on and talk, and I don't know. I'm still at the kids' table. I've always felt that way.
A favorite drug experience?
What an adorable question.
Oh boy.
My favorite drug experience.
I mean, I can think of like some favorite drug years.
I don't know. I could point out one in particular.
I would say Molly at concerts. But if you're looking for one drug experience, I would say the first time I did ecstasy was my favorite drug experience because it just opened up my mind in a way that I had never done before, and I just felt so comfortable and at ease and just had some of the most interesting conversations that night.
How old were you?
I was in college, so I'm guessing 21, 20. I think I couldn't go to the bars yet, something like that.
It's so wild, dude.
So the very first time I ever did mushrooms was in college with a bunch of friends, and we put them in cheeseburgers and went up to a park and ate them. And once they started kicking in, like, I think I first became aware that something was happening because I had my face in the grass and I was just going back and forth, and it felt so good on my face. And we just went on this adventure on the Penn State campus, and I can only describe it as feeling like I was in a snow globe. Like I knew where I was, but I wouldn't have been able to tell anybody any concrete directions on how to get anywhere. But like it just felt like just this very happy, like it was a psychedelic moment of like pure bliss and craziness, and like I can remember every detail.
Probably mushrooms for sure. Just because I'm already so intertwined with nature. Then it accelerates that to almost an overwhelming amount, where I'm like looking around at humanity and us and our material possessions, and I'm like, oh my God, look what we're doing to this place. And it seems a lot more connected and real, almost like it's an experience that you should do instead of just some drug that you're all, hopped up on.
In Haiku, the one we were in, like the gnome house, or there was like seemingly like mushroom references everywhere and shaggy psychedelic furniture and like a record collection that seemed endless. Like I definitely remember like rolling around on a shaggy rug and just crying with laughter, and we've had a lot of good ones, man. Campfires and lots of laughs.
We're on the island of Molokai, an Hawaiian island, and we have music playing out of like a portable speaker, and we're on a beach by ourselves and with 2 other friends, and this song comes on that's like one of my favorite songs ever. It's blasting out the speaker, and we're on Maui, so ecstasy, and you, Bo, you're out in the middle of the ocean, kind of standing on this like rock, like maybe like 6 feet in, and the wave, I'm looking at you from the shore watching, and the music's going, and I can hear the music, and the waves are like moving, of course, to the music, but the waves are like big, and they're coming behind you, and yet you're standing on this rock, and they're crashing everywhere but on you, they're all around you, and you're just standing up there singing. And I remember I stood there and I thought, I will never forget this moment for all of my life. I will never forget this happy, beautiful, connected moment. Like everything was one.
I'm thinking of like, because I was just there in Los Angeles, and I'm thinking of being at like a bar called Red Rock, and this isn't like one incident, but I used to love to do like take Vicodin with cocaine, and it would just create this like incredibly like euphoric sensation, and it's like fast but cozy, and like I'd always be with like a warmth of friends and like drinking heavily. And it's crazy because it's like it's probably the most dangerous combination of anything you can put in your body, but those were always like really fun times.
Oh, Valium, without a doubt, Valium. I didn't do any drugs.
You never really did any drugs, huh?
Never did. I smoked pot once or twice, laughed a lot, but I didn't do any drugs.
There's no acid in
I'm
the
80,
60s?
for God's sake. How many 80-year-olds would have done drugs?
Well, in the 60s.
I didn't.
Who do you love the most and why?
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably all just my closest family. My parents, of course, my siblings. I've had some pretty amazing dogs that I loved a lot. Yeah, and just I've been blessed with some amazing friends, and I feel like I would do anything for them.
My mother. Yeah, I love my mom the most. Probably because she loves me the most, and it's obvious like how selfless she is and how she sacrificed a lot to provide for me and my brother and my sister, and yeah, I don't know. Mama's boy. Yeah, she's the best.
Probably my mom. Like she's, I guess when you think about like where your home is, it's probably where my folks are, but my mom is just so sweet, like such a lover, and she'll always be there for me, and like such a giver, and you know, just she's there to take care of me always.
Like it's 100% my mom. Like she has been like the greatest like foundation for me as a woman, as a person, a human. Like she just has like set the bar for integrity, for love, kindness, like just also holding space for me as her daughter to really like figure it out, you know, and just be there with arms wide open no matter what. She's just amazing.
I started this project of sitting my friends down and asking them like deeper personal questions because I wanted to get to a place of deeper connection and sharing, and watch them like think and struggle with the question and answer it, and be very real and sincere. And in doing these 28 interviews, I've found like person after person has gone there and done that and let themselves be surprised and emotional, and daring. And it's been sort of more fulfilling than I'd anticipated.